The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Itsmrtaliaferro TV. Okay, a lot of people won't get this, but in the end, it's the right move for both parts. All right? Zach Randolph has signed a 2-year deal with the Sacramento Kings. I'm not going to do every free agent story on this channel. I do that on another channel for sports content, but some of the big ones I will post on this one. Zach Randolph signs a 2-year deal, $24 million, I believe, with the Sacramento Kings. He leaves Memphis, where for those who don't know how important Zach Randolph had become in the city of Memphis, they gave a chance to a guy who had a bad rep with his stint in Portland, the Clippers, I believe. He had a bad rep around the league. And Memphis took Zach Randolph in, and Zach Randolph took Memphis in, and Zach Randolph became the Memphis culture. That grit, that grind, that rugged. For the last 6-7 years, Memphis has been defined by who Zach Randolph is as a person. That brother has given back more than a lot of people do, way more than a lot of people do. He takes pride in giving back. I believe he was I know he was on one of the finalists for Humanitarian of the Year from the NBA this year. He's just a great person. Just a great person. And this ship had sailed its course. If you watched the Memphis Grizzlies last year, they need to get younger. They need to get younger. And I know a lot of people don't want to see Zach Randolph leave, but the reality of the situation is Zach Randolph was not just going to stick around and sign a $2 to $3 million contract just to say that he retired as a Memphis Grizzly. All right. His value is still more than that in this league. And if y'all know Zach Randolph, one thing he got from Memphis, definitely, or one thing why Memphis loves him is he's a hustler and he wants his bread. So you know he just wasn't going to just undermine his value like that. It wasn't the contract that the Grizzlies was going to offer him, probably wasn't even close. All right. $12 million, the Grizzlies couldn't do that. They just couldn't do that right now. When you're giving Mike Conley max dollar, pretty much, Marcus Gasol max dollar, pretty much, and you're giving Chandler Parsons pretty close to max dollar as well. Just can't do it to a fourth guy for a team that couldn't get out of the first round of the playoffs. It's the reality of the situation. And I'm gonna get to Chandler Parsons in a second. But when you talk about Zach Randolph, I think you can retire him later on. I think that will be the right move. I think maybe at the end of his career, when he go make some bread other places, you go sign him to a one-day contract with the Grizzlies when it's all said and done, and he retires a Memphis Grizzly. I think that is the right thing to do. I'm not even opposed to Memphis retiring his uniform. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't say that with just any player, but I'm not even opposed to that because Z-Bo stuck around through some very tough times, and he was loyal to Memphis. And if he had it his way, he would have wanted to retire a Memphis Grizzly. I mean, that brother means a lot to the city. And that number 50, I mean, who's really going to be rocking that number 50? Let him have that. And I say retire his number. He means that much to the city of Memphis. Do the right thing probably 3-4 years down the line. Listen, man, the Grizzlies have to get younger. They got to adjust to the NBA. I'm thinking you can still roll with Marcus Gasol as the 5 in this league. There are some big men still scattered around the league. But at the 4, you can't go big man 4 and 5. If the 4 can't stretch the floor, play on the defensive side of the ball, you can't do that anymore. You're going to need a 4 that's about 6'9" and under now. That's what the 4s have become. That Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, Kevin Durant type 4. He's about 6. Kevin Durant's a little bit taller, but usually around 6'10", 6'9", and they can move and they can kind of play on the perimeter. That's where the NBA is heading. So if a guy like Z-Bo can't play the 5, I mean, he's too small to play it. So there's just really nowhere to put him on the court. It's just his best years are behind him, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Here's one thing I'll never forget about Zach Randolph. When the Grizzlies defeated them damn San Antonio Spurs, man, that was a special moment. And I don't want to pound Chandler Parsons today because he gets enough blame as is. But what pisses me off is he gets on social media and he'll clown and he'll do emoji games. And it just, to me, seems like he doesn't take the game of basketball serious like everybody else. He tweets a lot. He does everything but play basketball. What it all came down to is the Grizzlies gave Chandler Parsons around this time last year a huge contract, and he ain't showed up. If Chandler Parsons was around for the Grizzlies, maybe this is a different conversation. Obviously, you have to understand if the Grizzlies advance to maybe the semifinals of the Western Conference or maybe even the Western Conference Finals, that's more profit in the organization. Maybe you're able to keep a Zach Randolph. Maybe you're willing to pay that type of money if you think this team has a chance to defeat a Golden State Warriors. Might I add, they play Golden State pretty much better than anybody does in the NBA. And with the defenders that they have when they're healthy, and Mike Conley ain't scared of Steph Curry, I don't think they have enough to beat Golden State. I'm just saying they play them pretty good, and I think they could have gotten to a Western Conference Finals if Chandler Parsons were healthy. But the reality of the situation is Parsons wasn't healthy. Kawhi lit him up. And if you want to just pinpoint a reason why Zebo's not here, the fact is Chandler Parsons played like 20 games last year and he couldn't stay healthy, and they didn't make enough profit. And I tweeted this out, you just simply can't have 3 max guys on a team and Zebo making $12 million for a team that ain't even getting out of the first round of the playoffs. It just can't happen. Sorry. But salute to Zach Randolph. His legacy for Memphis, I'm pretty sure, is set in stone. He's a legend, man. He's a legend in Memphis. The work he's done and everything. He literally symbolizes Memphis. And I'm going to be honest, when people call him a Memphis, he's a Memphis nigga. I'm going to be honest with you. Ain't no way to sugarcoat it. We just consider him a Memphis nigga. All right? Salute. Best wishes to him. Thank God for the time, loves boy. Don't take it for granted. Salute. Talk to me. Is Chandler Parsons the reason why Zach Randolph isn't there? I'm telling you something I know, but I want to hear what you guys think about Chandler Parsons still being around and Zebo's gone. Hopefully this brother Chandler Parsons can get healthy next year, because more pressure is on him now. And he needs to look in the mirror and realize one reason why Zebo's not here and one reason why this team struggled was because of him. Stop tweeting and play basketball. Everywhere you go, you injured. I'm out. If you're looking to book me for an interview, video, or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@itsmrtaliaferro.com. Again, that's booking@itsmrtaliaferro.com.